I was for your mamo ajo emamo atnase Ghana month mudie yenya kwenya ekasa yenna kasa. And so I'm bringing you greetings from TV3. This is Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy. Now traditionally I'd rather be called Adubia. Tonight is going to be another amazing episode right here on Confessions. We hear so many times that a gentleman or a lady has been abused. And usually if it's a man, we assume it's a man. But tonight, unfortunately, I hear it's a woman abusing a young man. And it's terrible. We're just going to go into the confessions booth and listen to the details of this confession and story and come back into the studio and make a conversation out of it. The show is brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. I'm seated because a gentleman reached out to us and says that he's being abused. We hear too many times that girls are being abused, but hardly do we know of men who get abused, and we usually take it lightly. But tonight, my ears are wide opened, and I need to listen to the story, to the frustration, to the abuse of this young man. My dear, you're welcome to Confessions.
Thank you, Miss Nancy.
It's good to have you.
I'm happy to be here today. Because maybe after today, I'll feel alive in my own body again.
That you will feel.
Miss Nancy.
Please go ahead with your confession, your story.
I'm a 17-year-old boy, currently living with my aunt. It all started off when my sick mother passed. And the family sat and decided that my auntie continued taking care of me.
Okay.
My auntie had children that when I moved in, I used to play with. But I realized something different when it comes to me. She always pampered me, touched me, and drew me closer to her. I was only thinking that it's because I probably didn't have a mother anymore.
Yeah.
That's why she was doing that. But as times went on, Miss Nancy, my aunt began touching me and started pursuing me into sex. It worried me and scared me from the beginning.
Yeah.
I just thought that that's the only way she was going to continue catering for me. I contained it for too long until recently I met this lady friend of mine. I was not able to tell anybody about it. Because you know, in this society, you say, I'm even telling lies.
Yeah.
So when I met this lady friend, I opened up to her and I told her that this is the situation at home. She was helpful and adopted me into her home.
Wow.
I thought it was ending over there. Then my aunt created an anonymous account on Facebook, began threatening me and the lady that if I don't return, she will make me uncomfortable.
Whoa. Like, is it your blood auntie, your mother's sister, or?
My mother's sister.
Blood sister?
Yes, Miss Nancy. And to top of it all, I keep seeing something. I keep dreaming about my mother telling me to return back to my auntie.
Hey.
And I don't understand.
I thought that when people die, they become angels and they know good things that are good for us. How can you be? I mean, probably it's just an imagination. Probably it's not really. I don't even know what this is. And I don't want to claim that I know. Let us go into the studio, talk to the right people, see if we're able to help. But if you are living with a relative, blood or not, and you are abusing this person in the name of I'm giving you help, shame on you. We are back here in the studio and quite a sad confession. A young man being abused by his own relative. I mean, being abused, we hear of it, by your own relative, and a woman for that matter. I mean, what's happening in this world? Who wants to be the first one?
Oh, no, it's not done anywhere. I won't agree on this. Taking care of your own family members should be done voluntarily and for free. I don't think there should be anything, I have to take care of you, so I have to abuse you as well. No, it's an abuse of human rights.
My contribution is that this woman, I think there's something wrong somewhere. Obviously, she's not correct. Because a boy at that age, what would you even think to do such thing? And I was thinking maybe there's something this woman is doing behind the scene that demands that. Maybe spiritual stuff that demands that. And that's why she still wants the boy to come home. And I want to ask if the boy, he has reported this to anybody or has consulted anyone.
No, I mean, his first point of call is confessions.
All right.
All right, so we are going to direct him to the appropriate authorities so that for the first time, we will lead this campaign. If a woman is abusing, it's as much abuse as a man is abusing. So we are not taking this lightly.
Miss Nancy, good evening.
Good evening, my lady.
I personally think the reason why his auntie is forcing him to come back home is because she knows for a fact that if somebody in their family gets to know about this, it's going to be a big problem. That's why she's raining curses and stuff on him. She wants him to come back and be with her, which is not right.
And you don't think that she would want to continue with the abuse?
She will. But she doesn't want anybody to find out. That's
why she wants to separate him.
Yes.
Oh goodness, these are the things happening in people's homes, and we bring it to you. So you need to watch out, not only for strangers, watch out for your family members too. They could be the ones hurting your child or somebody dear to you. Let's bring the people in to help us with this conversation tonight. Reverend Dr. Abraham Boateng, Pastor Little, is coming on the show, and with a fine Ghanaian lady, Connie J. People, let's welcome them. Let us make them feel loved. Come on. Show them love. Oh, Sophie is such a gentleman. See the way he's helping the lady up. Oh. Okay. Sophie, you say by me. Yeah, thank you. Pastor Little and Lady Connie J, they are with us in the studio. My lady, you are a woman. Tonight, I would have your say first. Okay. Another woman like you and I is abusing her own nephew, her sister's son. Her sister has gone to be with the Lord. And now this boy is supposed to be her own son, and she's decided to make him a plaything.
Miss Nancy, this is so sad.
Isn't it?
It's even giving me chills.
Yes, I can see it.
You see, when a man abuses a young woman or a woman, we make so much noise over this. But yet, when women or a woman does it, we try to keep it. This time, we need to shout out.
Oh,
we
no,
really
we
need to make a lot of noise.
And we will. We will.
This is a sheer abuse. First of all, it is not good for the young boy's mental health. And this woman too must be sick to have done that to her own nephew. Her own nephew. What do you think the mother will say if the mother was alive? The mother will cry her eyes out. And I really feel that we have to, you really have to report this issue.
Yes,
because it's not right. She is actually calling the boy out or cussing the boy to come home. I love what you said, all because she's so scared that the boy will probably talk and people will get to hear about the issue.
Or probably she misses the boy. She's
I was even coming back to
her toy boy.
The missing is without a doubt.
Aye.
She's really damn missing the boy.
She's hooked.
Do you know why? Because she has groomed the boy in her mind the woman is evil. This woman is evil. Yeah, we all do. None of us, we are all far from being holy.
Perfect, yeah.
But not to our nieces or our nephews, please.
Also, today the men are spared. The daughters of Eve. Now they moved on from the snake, the serpent, onto little boys. Today, please, I'm with the men.
I am too.
I'm so embarrassed to be a woman.
To the brotherhood.
Yes, also for this terrible thing being done by a woman, one that's supposed to be a mother to a boy.
It's a pity, and it's also have biblical roots. So you see the issue of Joseph and Potiphar's wife. So in most cases, you see the women in position of authority, position of trust, and position of care. People who are in the position of authority, position of trust, position of care,
Authority, trust, and care.
have easy access to abuse. So because of the position, you have nothing, you come. So she's your boss, and she's your teacher, there's a very famous president now who's
Married to
the
his
teacher. So
in
we have
fact,
to
we can
investigate.
mention their names, the president of France, because it's no news. I mean,
Yeah.
it's public knowledge.
Yeah. So it happens. So most of the time, you go to places like educational institutions, and you see maybe the big madam, the English teacher, the science, whatever subject teacher, and there's one student that the teacher may like. But we tend to put gender to abuse. So it's like only men who abuse, but the other side also does the same. But just that for the men, it's popular, but for the women, it's on the down tone. And most of the time, also, those who have been abused, guys who have been abused, tend to. I was reading the Joseph story somewhere, and someone said, Joseph Unyayo, Mianka. Literally, I wish I was in the shoes. But there are some who not want that. This guy, you have abused him, you have destroyed his virginity, you've broken his virginity. And virginity is not just an issue with women or with girls, with boys also. He's 17 years.
Yes.
You've put a certain perspective to his life. You've shaped his focus to a certain, and now he's gone out. He said, I have found somebody I love. I don't want to do this anymore. Now you are threatening him. And that's why I started with position of authority, position of care, and the trust also. Because of that, my mother's sister, somebody close to me. And it happens also on the other side. You see, when we take our children to our uncles, to our distant relatives, cousins, sometimes you should be careful. Be careful, because some of these things goes on, and there are a lot of people whose marriages are affected because of some of these things that have happened in the past. There are people, he will tell you, I don't want to meet this person. You don't understand. Because some things have gone on and he doesn't want to talk about it. For men, when we are being abused and you come out to talk about it,
I mean, that was joy for you. It's like we don't play abuse on boy children. Just because it comes with a certain level of pleasure.
So-called.
Is it any less an abuse?
Abuse is abuse. And you have to be a man, be strong. Wives are abusing husbands.
Are they?
Yeah, some. Bosses are abusing.
Yeah.
And especially, this may sound controversial, but some have said that when you have, in certain institutions, when the boss is a woman and she's abusing, it's terrible.
We thank God for women like Madam Beatrice Agyemang of Media General. I mean, a great woman by all standards. I mean, women are their own enemies, cannot be spoken about in this business. Because herself, Apefa, all the women in leadership in this institution are giving us the best. Wow. The men are loving on them. We, the girls, are loving on them. We truly, truly appreciate. I mean, give it up for them. Yeah. This is what is happening in other places. Like, let's talk about boys. I want to know. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys here. Your first sexual experiences. Who wants to share? Was it one that you did? Was it one that you called for? You planned for it? Or it happened to you? Or you were abused? Guys, I just want to be realistic right here. Yes, gentlemen?
Good evening.
Hi.
Please, for my own, I was in my hometown when I think she's a relative, and she left. She was staying at Usu
Okay.
when they brought her. So the first time when I know how, like, she introduced kissing.
Okay.
And that's where, like, I got to know that, hey, so this is how the thing is. And then she was the one who,
She initiated it.
yeah, even though I was older than her, but seriously,
She's the one that you were older than her,
Yep.
but she came on to you.
yep.
Whoa.
And then another, and I think she's my mom. She will call my mom auntie.
Okay.
So like,
So
when
your
my mom
mother's sister's daughter.
Yeah, when my moms wake up at dawn to go and do whatever she have to,
Yeah.
this woman will like come and then, so it was very disgusting for me.
At the time,
seriously.
did you find it pleasurable? Did you only grow up to notice that I have been abused?
All right, at that time, like, I never knew that it's how it is, but as time goes on, I also enjoy whatever is happening. So now,
You
I
know
got to know
that
that no,
that
I
was
was supposed
not right.
not to.
Very, very grateful that you chose to share your first sexual experiences with us. And I tell you that we bring you only the reality. This is a young man right here in the studio, and I randomly mentioned this, and there is one out of them. I'm sure there are others who do not want to share their stories. Anyone else with a story? Please pass the microphone to him. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Nancy, I want to share that
Please.
time I was 11 years,
Yes.
and this girl was in the university. I was in class 6. So there was a time we have closed school, so once I was going home, I was supposed to wait for my ride, but my ride didn't come that day, so I decided to walk. So whilst I was walking, then somebody was doing behind, but me, I didn't know it was me. So I was not paying attention. So she actually ran and came closer to come and tap me. So when I told her, I've called you, sir. Why are you not? And I was like, I don't know you. And she said, oh, she wants to be my friend. And I said, oh, okay, fine. So she asked me if I had a mobile phone, like she wanted my number.
Yeah.
I said, oh, yeah, I have a phone. So I gave her my number. Whilst I was going...
At 11 years, you had a phone?
Yeah. So I go home then...
You had Daddy B then? Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I go home and she called. Then she was like, oh, she want me to come and visit her. I was like, hey, visit. She said, oh, yeah, come visit. I'll not harm you. I'll not do anything. I said, okay, fine. So, and I asked at the time, so I can come like 8 thereabout.
PM?
So, yes. And so I went after.
Where was your mother then?
Okay, my parents are not actually here. So I was with my mom's friend.
Okay.
He was my caretaker, take care of me, yeah. So when I went, then I was not at the gate. Then she came. Then she took me inside. She was the only person at the house too. So, but that time it didn't occur to me that why is she the only person in this big house? You know, yeah, who owns the house? So I was like, okay. Then we went to the hall. Then she brought some drinks, champagne and some other drinks. I was like, oh, water is fine. Then she was like, oh no, water dear, why? Let me give you something. But yeah, I don't know.
So you drank the alcohol?
I don't know what was that. So when I drank, it made me...
Tipsy?
Yes. And I didn't know how she took off my clothes before I realized something has happened. Oh. Then she escorted me. She was asking me, how did you feel? But it was my first time, so I was not comfortable. I was not happy. Yeah. So when I went home, she keeps calling. I was mad about what happened. Yeah. So I was not picking her calls and all those things. I didn't understand what was happening. Then she keeps calling. Then the next day, I closed from school. She met me at that same spot. Then she was like, oh, why are you not picking my calls? I was like, oh, nothing. She was like, okay, I want you to come to the house.
Did the relationship continue?
Yeah. No, we didn't have a relationship, but we're just like once in a while.
She would call and then you would have sex with her.
And at some point I was like, okay, then let me just do what she wants. So I was doing it, but when I go to church and the pastor will preach, I'll be like, hey, what I'm doing, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But so
I think that, thank you for sharing your story as well. You know, these are things that as parents, as mothers, we are always so careful of our girl child. We always ignore the boy child. Can you imagine what your son may be going through or what his first sexual experiences have been? As you're watching this together as a family, would you take the advantage and ask your son, has he ever done this? Has he been there? How was the experience for him? If he's probably doing it the unconventional way, you correct him. But be honest about this. Allow them to talk. Stop being the parents that your children cannot be themselves around you. For some of you, when your children are out, they are one character. When they come home, they are another. And that's not right. Looking at family, taking care of family, shouldn't there be a system? Is it like automatic that just because my sister died, I'm supposed to take care of her son? Probably I don't have the capacity, the maternal, the instinct, the emotional intelligence, even at the time to raise a child. Is it automatic that just because we are family, we're supposed to take on, or probably we should really get the government involved in these things like elsewhere in the world?
Is it a question?
Yes, Connie.
Okay, well, you see, you did mention about elsewhere in the world. On the other side, yes, it's not only family, but the first choice is a family, immediate family, because again, you don't want the boy or the child's mental, you want a stability, you want him or her to have a stable way of life. A continuous, stable way of life. Now, when there is no family, that is when we look into the government or whoever, the social worker or the social work to look into the situation. But really, come on, it starts with the family. Because I am a mother of 3, and I do have my sister who lives about 6.7 miles away from me. You. So, and we are so close a family that if anything were to happen to me, my children immediately will go to my sister who to go without a doubt. Okay. They'll go to my sister. But can you imagine if my sister is like this person? Nobody will ever think or have any idea of what goes on.
She could actually do this.
But this is such a sad situation.
Parenting. Also, shouldn't our children know whom we love, whom we trust, who would be there for us? Don't we owe it to them to let them know that when I'm not available, you can count on this person and I can bet my life on this person?
Ms. Nancy, it's interesting because most of the time, it's not written on anybody's forehead.
No way.
I am an abuser. I am evil. It's not written. And you can have people you trust, people you believe that, oh, this person will do better. Miss Nancy will do better. I will do better. But I may betray that trust. That for whatever reason. And people change. And there are several factors that influences things that happen. There's a case in question I was handling where this young boy was in a certain suburb of Accra, and somebody that he looks to was abusing him. And that same person was paying his fees, was taking care of him, and was abusing him. And he has nobody to go to. So in most cases, you cannot say, don't go to this, your auntie, don't go to this, or whatever. Yeah. But what we can do for our boy child or girl child is to train them with the mindset that if somebody touches you in this way, run to tell somebody. We should begin to educate them from a very tender age that this is your private part. This is for you alone. You have the right to allow who to touch you at what time. But even that one, you have to be 18 years and above. Once you are in my house, if you go to school and anybody touch you, come and tell me. Yes. So my daughter will come and say, Daddy, today somebody hit my chest. We'll tell you. I say, hey, what did you do? Have time for them, listen to them. And it will be good. The best place, like Mama said, will be the family. If I'm not around, family, next person. And if these people are abusing me, the next person will be my pastor. If my pastor is abusing me, God forbid, the next person will be maybe, I know there are other religions, maybe my imam, maybe my religious figure. Yeah. And this person that I should go to is not leader or whoever have authority is the person I have to go to. It should be the politician in my area. And the politician is now taking advantage of me because I need the help from that person. So it goes on. It's a circle that we have to break. And a lot of the time, you see people who are finished university, young guys, they are having their applications, they are going around. This CEO who is a woman says, oh, you're a nice guy. It's never nothing to do with love. She wants to satisfy her own needs. And, oh, I'll buy you a car, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, oh, I'll give you the job. Yes, you get the job, you become a slave. Psychologically, you're a slave. All your life, you have to satisfy her, you have to fulfill some righteousness in her context. And that is what is happening now.
That is good. Now, I wouldn't want to take this break, but when we come back, I would want us to look critically at somebody being a toy boy or a boy toy, or actually looking for and finding cougars desirable, because there are younger men that also pursue older women. We'll get to that after this break. So we would go to the streets and ask, if your family member decides to sexually abuse you, what should you do? We want to know how knowledgeable the everyday Ghanaian is on how to handle these things. And so to the streets we go.
Although he's having dreams about his mom telling him to go back to the auntie, for me, my suggestion is he should still be with the girlfriend and look for a pastor who can help him deal with that spiritual issues.
I would suggest the guy to go back on the basis that in our African tradition, when someone dreams about even lotto numbers, it means, and you go and play, you will surely win. So if your mom visits you in the dream and probably talk about you going back, I would suggest you go back and not repeat whatever is happening between you and the woman. So I would suggest that particular person goes back, because maybe the lady you are with is also planning something against you you have no idea about.
I think that if he is with his girlfriend and everything is going well, I don't see why he should go back to the lady because of a dream. And plus, if he goes back, they'll still be doing what they were doing. So there's no point in going back, especially if he wants to stay with his girlfriend and marry her in the long run.
I feel he should rather look for a church that he can confess it to a pastor and get a counsel from a pastor or anyone that is really a spiritual person, like a pastor or someone that he can believe that can counsel him. Then when he does that, I feel that God will even forgive him, because for the first place he has even sinned against himself and with God too. So God will forgive him and he will also forgive himself and also move on.
It's always exciting to pick up the opinions of other people. They say they are like noses. Everyone has one. Now back to us. Connie, you know that you and I are women. The challenge I'm having these days, the younger men pursuing me, I do not know why. I don't know if I don't look like I'm a mature woman. I don't know. Or I just don't get it. At what point do you come to the conclusion that this is a younger man that is after me, and that if I get into a relationship with this one, I am not abusing him? And when it would be called an abuse, I want the lines to be drawn.
Well, as long as both of you are matured, I love what Pastor said, that 18 and above.
Yes.
If the person is matured, let's say you are 38 and you bump into someone who is 28.
Okay.
The 28-year-old man is a young man, matured man.
Mature man.
So it means that you are so chic, very pretty.
I am.
You got to. There's something
Are we
about
all
you.
not?
Yeah, you are. There's something about you that really got into this guy.
Yeah.
So when two mature people, it's up to them.
Yeah.
It's a decision that two matured, whether the woman is older or the man is older. You guys are matured, so it means you've got something going for you, Miss Nancy.
You've got something going for me right here. Okay, so now also we agree that it's just about the maturity of the younger one, whether they are age appropriate. That's the only time, right?
Sometimes also, a lot of young people are opportunistic.
Yeah.
So they see this woman who is well accomplished. The research tells us that between the ages of about 38 and 55, there are a lot of single women who are looking for husbands, who are looking for companionship, who are divorced.
Yeah.
So in this state, people are prone to being abused.
Yeah.
There's a scam, I don't know if I have the opportunity, going on around places like Airport, Achimota, Jowulu, where you meet this young guy who comes, well-dressed, nice guy. He looks at you and thinks that you are somebody come to tell you, oh, I'm interested, oh, I'll marry you. He takes you to, even to meet the mother. The mother is all scam. It's all part of the group.
Part of the
Takes
scam.
you to a place rented, tells you, oh, my turn to Makra, shows you things. I'm just looking for the woman. You are the one. Okay, I went to work and I need 2,000. I need 3,000. And that's where it starts from. And especially they target people who are older in this age bracket. And people are very vulnerable, need companionship when they are in a certain age.
Yeah.
So when young guys now, it's like a crash day by plan, use your head. So they have to survive. They begin to tell you, I love you.
So I shouldn't be feeling too
No,
good.
no, no,
Probably
no,
I
be
would
careful.
be a target.
Be
I don't
careful.
drive a Mercedes though.
No, oh, not at all.
I thought that when women accomplish drive Mercedes,
No,
then the
not
little
that.
boys are all of them.
Mercedes.
Miss Nancy, even being on set.
No, it's not about them. Well, let's say they bump into you in a nightclub. They don't know the car you drive, but they can tell that you smell something. Because not long ago, I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, feel free, man.
But not long ago, a couple of weeks ago, my sister is in town from the UK, and we went out for a meal. Then in that building, there's a nightclub downstairs. So when we got down, my sister said, sis, and her friends, sis, let's get in. And when I got there, it took me back to the moment. Because they were playing the 80s and what have you. So I was the only woman on the floor. And I really, really danced the evening away. But then there was this young man who now came to the floor and asked to dance with me, which I did. But then when we were about to leave, the guy said, can I have your number? And I said, for what? You cannot tell me that you've just fallen in love with me, dancing with me just tonight.
I mean,
So,
Connie,
yes.
if he saw all the good endowments right here, he could have fallen in love.
Yeah.
He could have
Who
fallen
knows?
in love right
I
there
said
and then.
it was a joy dancing with you, but I don't want to take my number.
That's how I
out.
wanted to end.
So Miss Nancy, to continue, if you are an elder woman, you are in your 40s, for
need to
whatever
be
reason,
careful.
you are single, be careful. In Accra, in particular.
In Accra.
Be careful.
Now,
Because
I need to sound this out. Darlings, me
oh,
Forget
Miss Nancy, I should be-
Forget
I should
it.
do, I
I'm a
should do.
hard-working woman, but I don't
Yeah.
have spare to take care of someone's grown ass boy. No,
Yeah.
we wouldn't do that. Back to the confession we had. This young man has left his auntie who is abusing him into the arms of another woman that says he likes him, and this woman is hosting him. Is he still safe?
Well, I don't know about the person's age, but I just assume in my mind that the person is his age group.
Probably.
So if it's another older woman, may the Lord be with this gentleman. But if it's his age group, yes, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
So, but if it's another older woman, no.
Asafo, your last words to the gentleman. We're wrapping up.
Before, if I can say something briefly.
Please.
There are a lot of young guys are saying that when you date an older woman, they are less drama. Some of the things younger ladies are looking for, hair, like the other people.
Got info.
Is that true? That's true, eh?
Oh
Yeah,
my
they
gee.
tend- like older women don't trouble you, ask you a lot of, in quote, useless questions, useless things. They know what you want, papa, and things move flow. That is just by the way. But I'm not promoting that people should go in for elder people or whatever. Back to our young gentleman, he should be mindful. He's gone through distraction, psychological pain. He should take his time, not to just enter into another relationship. He should seek counseling, he should seek help, he should talk to somebody before he progresses with the relationship he's in now. Like Mama said, whether it's of the same age, whether it's own, that's not the issue, but he should seek help to deal with the backlog. If not, he will carry scars in his life. He'll be bleeding all his life.
Yeah.
Miss Nancy,
Yes.
about the dream.
Yes, he said that he keeps
Yes,
dreaming that
I
his
think
mother
that is
is
what-
telling him to go back
Yeah.
to his
And that is
auntie's
what
house.
making him confused. He doesn't know what to do. I'm asking, should he take the dream serious? Because if he should take it serious, why is the mother rather not telling him to
Run.
run to a safer place,
Yeah.
but rather to go back to that house? Because I don't think he should take that dream serious.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now I need you guys to wrap up with dreams and all the things that we dream about and how we should take our dreams seriously. At what point, especially when we have Osofu here. Connie, you do dream, don't you?
I do, but I've not
At
dreamt
what-
for a while.
Okay. So at what point do you take your dreams seriously?
I honestly don't have any answer to this. If I'm thinking about something and I have a dream about it, then I realize that probably is what I was thinking, that my thought is what took me into the dream. But if I have not really thought of anything and something it's not just once, it keeps coming back to me, then I think very deep and wide about that particular issue. But for what you know, probably the aunt is even a before who is actually the spirit, manipulating the boy. So I don't think it's the mom who is actually really in the dream asking him to go back. So probably that's
a good one. Yes, Asafo, we're wrapping up.
We believe that spirits judge faithfully, judge truthfully.
Yes.
So indeed, if it's the spirit of the mom, with no good spirit or no spirit as we think from an African Ghanaian perspective, we tell you to go to this aunt. We tell you run away. We'll even fight for the son to have liberation. So I don't think it's a good spirit. It could be from any source, or it could be from himself.
His own imagination.
Imagination and the things, even in this abuse, they are part of him that will enjoy whatever goes on.
Of course.
That is pushing him, and part of him pushing him from it. So himself. So.
That's good. So people, tonight we have learned that yes, we have relatives, we can connect our children to them, but in all of this, we should be careful. We learned again that it's not only girl children that are being abused. Our boys are also suffering, and we need to give them attention. And we're learning again that as an older woman, a mature woman, at any point in time, if the younger man who is desiring you or you are desiring is underage, then it's inappropriate. But then if he's mature enough and wants an older woman, wants to call you a cougar, and you call him your toy boy, we were not